I gotta be honest, when I heard that there was a Twisters movie in the making, not exactly a remake, but not exactly a sequel, something that's kind of inspired by the 90s classic Twister, that, like, if you're my age, everybody watched that, especially, like, as me, someone who grew up in the Midwest, where tornadoes were a pretty big part of every year. You'd go through tornado season in Tornado Alley, you'd hear the sirens, you'd go in your basement. It was just part of life. So that movie for me was pretty iconic back in the day. When I heard that they were going to do a Twisters, I wasn't exactly feeling it. I like Glenn Powell a lot, but I just didn't know if this movie was something I really cared about. But we've heard some good reactions from people. I thought the trailers looked okay. Then we heard this from the director that has a lot of people in the mainstream media pretty upset. They're not happy. The idea that a movie about bad weather could possibly not have some sort of message attached to it, but apparently that's exactly what we have with this movie. Twister's director on not mentioning climate change. Movies shouldn't preach a message. Holy shit, thank you. I want to applaud you right now for saying something like that. The idea of making a movie without trying to push some message on people and just something to entertain everyone, wow, that would be great, wouldn't it? Director Lee Isaac Chung on why his meteorological disaster movie doesn't reference global warming. Well, I mean, doesn't reference global warming because nobody references that anymore, right? That was the talking point until so much data came out revealing, oh, maybe we shouldn't call it global warming because that's not actually happening. I guess we got to call it climate change now so we can fudge up a bunch of science and try to make people panic over that. The storm-chasing sequel Twisters is racking up positive reviews, currently 84% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I think I saw it down to about 80% or so today. And continues to be a much-needed summer of Glenn Powell. The film chronicles an unprecedented outbreak of violent storms that tear through the American heartland and has characters spouting plenty of meteorological jargon. But one thing Twisters doesn't have, a reference to climate change. This is rather surprising, and we've seen similar articles from The Verge, and BuzzFeed was having a meltdown over this. BuzzFeed not very happy that this isn't going to push some sort of political message or warning about climate change or global warming or whatever. CNN, he's also talked about it. Everybody's kind of spouting the same thing. They're not happy that a movie that's supposed to just entertain people, kind of a little bit of dumb fun in the theaters, that it doesn't set out to preach a message. This is rather surprising. The possible impact of climate change on tornadoes is complicated and still being figured out. Weird, but you want them to put a message in there despite that nobody actually fucking knows, that there's no consensus. That's strange, isn't it? But let's get down to the director's actual words after they're begging for him that he should have included something like this. But to hear director Lee Isaac Chung tell it, even though a throwaway reference would be like beating red state moviegoers over the head with a DVD copy of An Inconvenient Truth. These people really do hate you if you're a conservative, if you're living in middle America, holy fuck. Quote, I just wanted to make sure with the movie, we don't ever feel like it's putting forward any message, Chung told CNN. I just don't feel like films are meant to be message-oriented. I would say, and I don't know the full context of the quote in the whole, right, what exactly he was talking about. I don't think that the vast majority of films are meant to be message-oriented. I do think that you can have little indie movies or smaller budget things when you're looking for a certain audience. I think that you are free, the filmmakers are free to push a message if they want. But when it comes to blockbusters, I don't think that that's the case because you need all of the audience you can possibly get for something like that. Obviously, we've seen outliers in the past be very, very successful, but as a general rule, I think that that's a very good one to keep. This is a scene. There's a scene where a local farmer played by Maura Tierney says storms and floods are becoming more frequent, but she doesn't mention climate change. I think what we're doing is showing the reality of what's happening on the ground. We don't shy away from saying things are changing. I wanted to make sure we're never creating a feeling that we're preaching a message because that's certainly not what I think cinema should be about. I think it should be a reflection of the world. So there you have it. Twisters, not exactly a sequel, not exactly a reboot, but somewhere kind of in the middle. Coming to theaters this weekend. They don't want to send a message, they just want to entertain people. So we'll see how it does, we'll see how it's received, and hopefully they're true to their word on that. And a lot of people are going to enjoy what they put out. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.